another early morning and getting up before the sun comes up and taking you on a little walk and talk. You know, walking can be the best exercise for us old geezers to keep moving, to keep striving. You know, it takes a lot of energy to, you know, keep things going in your family and, you know, be there for everybody and our kids and our wives. And then have enough energy left over to play music and create. And man, you know, I encourage everybody that watches this channel, get up and get moving as much as you can. Now, I don't get to do this as often as I like, but it's an early morning and the wife just got up and we knew our daughter was very tired, so we decided, I said, look, let me go for a walk now. And then when I get back, then you can go. And that way we both get to get our exercise in. Yesterday we went for a family walk and we saw our first gator. So I opted to go first. And that way I can deal with the gators, should there be any. Hopefully they've all started to go under the water. And I'm not gonna have to confront any gators today, but you never know, man. You never know how things can be. So, you know, there's a lot of people that watch my channel and they want to hear the celebrity stories, and they want to hear, you know, all this, you know, stuff from the past. And man, I think I've even shot a video of the wildest, most harrowing story from my days working in the hotel business. And man, I guess I'm gonna have to sit down. I can't locate the video I shot to edit it and put it on my channel. So I'll probably have to retell that story again. And man, you know, there came a time when I realized, you know, and somebody, a friend of mine, Alan Covert, had said, you know, I said, yeah, oh, that was probably about when I realized it was time to get out of LA. And he said, when the guy offered you $50 from A&M Records, but he couldn't tell you what kind of job it was, $50 an hour, that wasn't the time. I said, no, that was, look, you know, dodging creeps and predators. Man, if you're going out to the big city and you're going to try to make it in the music business, those kind of people are everywhere. And whether it's you they're after, or your girlfriend, or your wife, the creeps and the predators are going to be out there, kind of like this gator in these ponds here. They are out there, man. And you know, you would you know, even just trying to get a haircut. I remember, I don't know if I even told this on the channel, but you know, rolling in with my, you know, 80s hair into a hair salon because the hair had just gotten too wild. And I thought, I'll just pull into this little salon in a strip mall in the middle of the valley and try to get a quick haircut. And the middle-aged lady, nice middle-aged lady, I walked in, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, she can cut my hair. And no, she wasn't available. So she puts me in with this middle-aged guy, you know, and he goes, oh, hi. And he proceeds to start, instead of cutting my hair and going, what do you want done with your hair? He starts trying to massage me, starts massaging my shoulders and all this. And I said, look, man, I just came in here for a haircut. I don't want a massage. You know, I just want the ends trimmed. Thanks. Oh, okay. You know, it's just the creeps and predators are out there. And, you know, you're going to have to deal with that stuff in life. Just like this over here, there are gators in there. And I don't see one yet. I don't see any heads protruding from the water like I did yesterday. I saw a head, and it's just kind of sitting there at the top, and then it sees us, and it went quickly under so that we could not tell that it was there. That is the reality. You know, predators aren't always so obvious. They'll often pose as your friends, and that can be tough, man, because the reality is, you know, you think people are out there, you know, you're looking for friends. You go somewhere and you don't know anybody. Now I'm going to cut across this grass here because a path I want to take, a scenic path that we're going on. We're taking the scenic path today, and that path, yeah, it can sometimes lead to danger, just like a path to Nashville, a path in the music business, a path to Los Angeles or New York City or Chicago could be filled with danger. And that is the reality, man. It's just, you know, at every turn you've got to watch who you're dealing with and what you know, and what's going on. It's like one day I went to the pawn shop. I was working at the pawn shop, and you know, a guy comes in, and I guess he's a guitar player, and you know, I was just in the back doing my job. I was just in the back minding my own business, you know, not bothering anybody. Just it's another day at the pawn shop, and by this time I had joined Shock. So I was in a Sunset Strip band, and I would rehearse every night, you know, after work. And I'd work all day at the pawn shop, then drive back to the valley and, you know, and work on the band stuff. And so, you know, I needed the money, man. You know, just I had to work a job. Didn't make any money headlining all those clubs on the strip. So, you know, I'm working in this pawn shop, and one day this guy comes in, and you know, I'm not even paying attention to this guy. I'm not waiting on him. I'm just in the back doing stuff, moving stuff, putting stuff in where it's supposed to be, you know, filing, you know, files and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden I kind of glance out the window, and the manager points at me and go, well, he's a really good guitar player. And this guy just gets ticked off immediately that he's being told that this kid behind the counter is a great guitar player. And he starts, you get out here right now. I'll challenge you right now. I challenge you. And man, I'm behind bulletproof glass. Bro, I'm just a kid. I'm just a 20-year-old kid. I'm not like, you know, wanting to come out and challenge this guy or anything, and never purported to be, you know, the world's greatest guitar player. And I'm just a 20-year-old kid. This guy's yelling and screaming. And so I just, you know, he kept in my face at the window, and he kept, you know, talking all this smack. And so I just said, well, you know, what would you play over this chord? What would you play over this chord? And man, that even more enraged him, that I would try to just stand behind the glass and outsmart him. And he just blew up, and he's screaming, F you, and all this stuff. And the guy's threatening me and all this kind of stuff. And I really didn't curse the guy or anything like that. I just stood there and let him berate me. But it was probably the next morning or something like that, or when I got home from, you know, work, that I got the call that, Brad, we just can't have that kind of confrontation at our work, and we're gonna have to let you go. And I was like, what? Like, I wasn't even trying to engage, with this guy, but he kept berating me, kept challenging me and all this. And, I'm a big fan of sometimes you just got to outsmart people. And so I guess I should have just not said anything and let this guy either way, he was going to berate me. And, when I was a 20-year-old kid, I didn't know to just ignore this guy and go, oh, man, I can't play like you, bro. I can't. I should have just, what I would have done now is I would have just diminished my own capabilities and acquiesced to him and gone about my job and kept working my job. But I got canned. because they told this guy that I was a great guitar player and I was just a pawn shop clerk that played in a Sunset Strip band at the time. That's all I was. I didn't have any grand pedigree or resume or anything like that. But his danger at every turn. Now, as an addendum to this story, I don't remember what the guy's name was. I have no idea. I never heard him play that day. He never once give me a guitar and plugged in and started playing. If he'd have come in and just absolutely ripped, I would have said, dude, you got me. Dude, you're a bad dude, But man, he was probably aggravated because he came into the pawn shop and he needed some money. And they're telling him that this guy's a great guitar player, and maybe he's an unemployed guitar player with a bad attitude. And that's a whole nother story. A guy like that, with that much ego and bravado, is gonna have a tough time, even if he is the world's greatest guitar player. You're much better off to have a self-depreciating, opinion of yourself and be able to handle, be able to just say, hey, I'm not the greatest. And, this is what I do. I play guitar and I just have fun at it. That's what I should have done to the guy when he confronted me. But the reality is I didn't know better. I didn't know how to handle the situation. So I get canned, and they had always bragged at this shop that they had never had to pay unemployment insurance. We've never had to pay it. We've never had to pay an unemployment claim. But man, things in every work situation aren't always, easy going. And at times that job could be very intense. You're dealing with, strange individuals, perhaps under the influence, needing money, desperately needing money. I mean, this was the days of crack. And man, people got very, very desperate at times. And, the reality is, it could be a volatile workplace. And the bosses, they would not refrain from arguing over $5. If they thought they could get $5 more out of something or somebody, or one of them owed the other one $5, man, it would be screaming over $5. And so it was a very, very tense workplace. And, there were situations going on that just, it could be a very tense place to work. And so the reality was, when I applied for unemployment insurance, I applied for it, and then you get the phone call, and they apparently had called my boss first, and they said, well, he didn't want to work here anymore because he joined a band, and so we let him go, or something like that. And I said, whoa, that's what they told you? I said, no, this is a very volatile place to work, and they are cursing on a daily basis. And we were at one time, strip searched, because $100 was missing. And then I found out they found the $100, and there was never any apology for anything. You could be screamed at 1 minute. I called every name in the book. I just was honest with the guys, and I don't have anything against these guys. I love those guys I worked for. It's all water under the bridge now. Don't have any animosity. But the truth was, man, it was a very volatile place to work. So when the lady heard that, she says, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll send you a letter in the mail to let you know your status." And I was like, okay. So yeah, I was approved for unemployment. I was the first person to get canned there that did get approved for it. And that gave me a summer, or I don't know, a few months, probably about 3 months, where I got I think it was like $200 a month or something. It was something really insignificant, but it was enough money to scrape by and, write more songs, try to, rehearse with the band, just completely immerse myself in the Sunset Strip scene. And for that, I'm very thankful. Now you can see we're out here. There's this pond. This is about where we saw the gator yesterday. And I don't see any today. I don't see any heads poking out. But you've got this very murky swamp. And, life can be like this murky swamp. Things can be lurking here that you don't know about. And, man, this is a really cool path. My wife took me on yesterday, and, man, I'm really, really like this, because it's like little inlet that you can just kind of walk with water on both sides. But man, it's like life. You gotta watch your ass, right? You gotta watch your ass, because your ass can be grass in a heartbeat. And man, that is the way it is. Just like, here's another story. I'm living in Lanewood Pines. Got my 2 roommates. It's a nice apartment in Hollywood. And I think, man, it's, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking, man, I'd really like to have a Snickers, man. I think I'll go and get me a Snicker bar, right? So I walked down to the little 7-Eleven that was on Sunset. I was between Sunset and Hollywood. I think the street was called Lanewood. And right next to Hollywood High School. And I'm there, and I go, and I start walking down the street, and I see this guy, and he sees me. He goes, "Yo, man, you got my pipe. You got my pipe." It's like, I don't have your pipe. And I just took off sprinting, man. And I was a pretty good shape back in those days, and pretty quick for my size. And I just hauled ass. That dude followed me, man. He ran after me, convinced that I was the guy that had his pipe. And this was the days of crack and all that. Man, I was legitimately just going to get, something sweet, to eat. And man, you just never know. That's why I always have my head on a swivel, and I'm always, ready, paying attention to your surroundings, and knowing that trouble lurks at every angle.